All right, everybody. How are y'all doing today? We're doing a little something different today. We are live streaming on River Valley Leader. So you want to see what Johnny and I look like. Of course, I probably don't want to. I'll apologize right now when you get it on there. But we are in the carpeted closet. You can take a look and see what goes on in here. The hubcap is right over here. It's even got some leftover, probably whatever possum he was cooking the other day. Jarrett was in here, but
very tasty possum, by the way.
Was it really? Well, there's some residual. You want me to scrape that out for you before I start putting names in? But anyway, so River Valley Leader is here. They are doing a live stream for us. It's a new program that they're going to have, and we invited them in. We thought maybe y'all be interested in seeing the nuts and bolts show and seeing kind of what goes on in here, because we're just sitting in here really doing this. And I have the ladies here from River Valley Leader to tell us a little bit about what they're going to be doing and how you could take advantage of this yourself and maybe put your business on. Spree, this is Spree, by the way.
Hi. Yes, we have the capabilities to do video on River Valley Leader, and one of those things is live stream. Last week we live streamed a few things going on in the community, and so we're just able to go around and show people what's happening as it happens. We are excited to be here, and we also invite you to log on to River Valley Leader, click on the live stream video box on the front page, and while you're there, check out the site. We are your #1 instant news source here in the River Valley, and you can check out some of our news stories on there as well. That's
right. Y'all have instant coverage on all the things that are going on around the River Valley, and so check that website out. It's a great new way to get the news out there and talk about what's going on, and the live stream deal's kind of neat. I think maybe you could just do your own little quick commercial, and it'll be sort of there forever because it's out there on the internet where people can see it.
And what we'll do too, the live streams right now, but we also have the capabilities to edit it, and we'll put it back on the site later on, so it will be there for everyone to see.
Okay, contact y'all through what? How do you want them to contact y'all?
Email us at info@rivervalleyleader.com, and someone will get back with you, and we will figure out how we can work something out.
All right. Well, thanks a whole lot for doing this, and now we got to do the radio show. The regular radio show that we do every week. So there's a lot of folks that are out there listening. If they can hear through the pouring down rain that's coming down.
Gene, did you bring this to the studio today?
Well, if I did, I apologize. Good grief. It rained enough this morning before 7 o'clock. We didn't need any more rain, but.
I think that there are those people, though, that are out there driving those vehicles that they're kind of like the old story of the Arkansas Traveler. Mm-hmm. They put it off getting a new vehicle. Now with it pouring down rain and it's raining in on their head, maybe they realize it's time to do a little trading.
Well, it might be, and that's what we want you to do at Best Ride is come by and see us at Best Ride. If you're thinking about getting a car, this is tax time. We're kind of coming to the end of it, but at tax time, a lot of people have thought about getting a car. They've made plans to get a car. Mm-hmm. And we want folks to come by and talk to us about our options. Of course, Best Ride is an in-house financing program, and we do buy here, pay here, which means we are the bank. We make the loan decisions. And if you'll come by and see us, if you have some credit issues, afraid, concerned, worried about what you're going to be able to do as far as getting approved, we're going to be as easy as there is for you to talk to people, and because we understand that situation. At Best Ride, we have a 24,000-mile warranty that is available for you to use. It is great coverage. We talk about it all the time on the radio program here, where they cover all kinds of things beyond powertrain. The air conditioning, the brake systems, the electrical. You got coverage for your alternator, your power windows. There's just so many things. And you have a nationwide roadside assistance program available to you also. So you have an 800 number. You can be in New York City in the middle of the night, and they're going to come out and help you, so you don't even have to wonder what to do. And then we offer 7.5% interest rate, and this is something that I talk about all the time because you can get loans at a lot of places if you have bad credit, but some of those places are offering interest rates that are double-digit, 18%, some of them. And on a car loan of $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, that can be $6,000 or $7,000 in interest alone. And so at Best Ride, we keep it at 7.5% interest rate, so it's a reasonable interest rate. We're always flexible on down payments. You know, people call, first question, how much down? And so the answer to that is it depends on what you need to do in order to get your car deal done, in order for the payments to be affordable. We don't set any amount in particular. We just want to work with you with what you have available. We're going to help you with your sales tax so that you don't have to come up with that money right away. We're going to report to the credit bureau so that you can build fresh credit. That's another thing in our business that a lot of places don't do, and we always have at Best Ride, so that you can build credit and have options down the road. Get a house, get a credit card, buy a new car, the things that you can do with credit. It just helps you with that.
And speaking of options, one of the things I think most people like about Best Ride also is the selection, the variety that you have.
Yeah, well, that is something that we've always felt that was important. You know, for the radio guy, people always hear us talking about that, Johnny, is the cookie cutter cars. A lot of places, you know, the accountant tells them what they need to be selling. These are the perfect ones. And you know, people just cannot operate in a car. A Taurus is not going to get everybody what they need to do. You need pickup trucks. You need SUVs. You need, some people need small gas economy cars. Some people need the great big 3 rows of seats so the kids aren't touching each other, or you know, and so there's different needs. And so at Best Ride, you know, we have Wes and myself that are constantly trying to find vehicles. I think Wes is buying cars online right now, and we search for cars in several different areas so that we have a variety and try to find the cars that we think people will be excited about, because that's an important part of buying a car. If I tell you you got to pick between the Hoopty and the Taurus, you know, that's not much fun. But if you have a whole bunch of different vehicles you could choose from, that makes it better for you. You can actually come in and buy the car you want, and that's what we like for you to do.
No doubt about that. One thing I like to select is the $50 bill.
Oh, the $50 bill. Well,
Gotta
you know
love
what? It is. It's probably drip drying somewhere, I'm sure. But anyways, y'all call into the show, and we're going to put everybody's name in the old hubcap. There is actually a hubcap right there. We're going to put your name in the hubcap, and in a little bit we'll draw somebody's name, and they win $50. So call on in. Everybody, it's Gene from Best Ride. Are you ready? It's 2012. Time to do taxes, wish for spring, and look forward to summer. Have you planned on a new vehicle? Credit might be an issue. Get yourself over to Best Ride, where we can help you find a rig that you'll love with 24,000 miles of warranty available and a 7.5% interest rate. We'll report to the credit bureau. We're going to help you with your sales tax. You know where to find us. Knoxville, down by the fairgrounds. Best Ride. All right, everybody, we are back again. And like I was saying before, if you're listening on the radio and you want to see what's going on live, it is streaming on River Valley Leader right now.
That's it.
You can tune in and see my beautiful Republican red shirt and the back of Johnny's head. So come on, tune in.
That's it. And I've spent a lot of time.
Have you groomed that?
I went over to a friend of mine who does my hair, and I said, look, all I need you to do is the back of my head this
Just
time.
Make me look good from the back
Make me look good from that. Well, that too. Oh, I guess I should do here. Let's hold on just a second here.
Okay, hold on.
Guess
All
I
right.
should do.
That's it right there, yeah.
You're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
How you doing?
Well, we're doing pretty good here. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Getting a little wet.
Well, you know, that's got to get in out of the rain. Don't be out there too long.
I got to.
Well, what's your name? Tell me who's calling.
It's Bob.
Bob, all right, Bob. So what can we do for you today?
I wanted to get your opinion on a car that I bought.
You bought a car, all right. What'd you buy?
It's a =62 Pontiac Le Mans Tempest.
Okay. That's a big old car, isn't it?
No, it's not that big.
Really? I would have thought it would have been a pretty good sized automobile.
It's got like a half V8.
A half V8.
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
No, I guess I have not. Johnny's over here thinking through his. He's older than me. He's thinking about it.
It's got, it's kind of odd. I've never seen one before. That's one of the reasons I bought it.
Really? Just because you hadn't seen one of those before, huh?
Exactly. And, well, I mean, it's not bad shape.
Well, that's good. I like old cars. I always have liked old cars. You know, they're easier to work on. They got that nostalgic look to them. There's so many things you can do to customize them. So I enjoy them. Even the old sleeper little grandma cars and stuff are still real neat when you get them fixed up.
It's got like a transaxle. The transmission is on the back axle.
Well, I guess I have not ever seen that myself, or at least I didn't pay any attention that that's what it was, so that's interesting. A 62 Tempest.
Is that a 2-door or 4-door?
I believe it's a 2-door.
2-door.
I got you. Okay, well,
I hadn't really looked at it that good, but you know, it's I believe it's a 2-door hardtop, big old trunk.
I bet it is a big old trunk. I see, that's why I was thinking a 63 Grand Prix, I think is a 63 we had at one of the other dealerships that I worked at a long time ago, and we had a little contest about the salespeople. The part of your job, you could get an extra bonus if you could get your customers to get in the trunk of this thing. And it was big enough to put a husband and wife in it.
I started to say you could probably put the whole family in there.
So yeah, that was always a big thing. But anyways, that's real interesting, Bob. We appreciate it. We got your name in the hubcap, and
just kind of wondering about that engine. If
I've never heard of what
I've never heard of a half V8.
A half V8. I'd have to look that up and see what that really is.
It's a 4-cylinder, but it's if you buy parts for it, you got to buy them for a V8.
Okay, well that's not totally unusual, because a 4.3 V6 in the Chevrolets is like a 6-cylinder version of the 350. It's pretty much the same bore, stroke, everything of a 350, where they just basically cut the back 2 cylinders off of it. So that's not totally unusual, and that helped them with parts, you know, whenever they did that type of thing, so they could mass manufacture parts and keep their costs down.
On this one, they cut the side of the motor off.
Chopped it off, made it a slant 6, basically, or slant 4.
All 4 cylinders are on the passenger side.
I got you. Well, that, you know, they did that sort of for balance too, counterbalance on there to help it not vibrate too much.
Okay, well, I'll get it together. I might bring it up there and let you look.
No might to it. You need to bring it up there so we can see, Bob, all right?
All right, appreciate it.
Appreciate you calling.
Well, especially for the car show.
Yeah,
maybe we ought to talk a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, that's coming up on April the 21st, our standard hot rod show, the Best Ride Hot Rod Show and Shine. It's going to be on Main Street, back where we used to have it in the National Home Center parking lot, on the 21st of April. And, you know, we'll be doing our raising money for the OEM Dive and Rescue Squad. They may need it. They've been pretty busy. I've been here in the last few days. And but anyways, that's what we're going to be doing, and it'll be all the fun stuff. There'll be food. There'll be all kinds of hot rods and motorcycles, and we'll have prizes of all kinds. We'll have a truck that we'll be using to raise money to help the OEM Dive Squad. We're going to give them all the money that we raise, and just have a big fun day that day, like we do it'll be the 8th annual one.
Want to remind everyone, 890-5013-967-1687, 800-887-5933. No problem with calls this morning. Pretty busy on this Thursday. You're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Nuts and bolts.
Nuts and bolts, that's right. Do you say boats?
I need some boats today.
I bet you do. Who's this calling?
This is Brother Chester. Drawers.
Chester, you don't sound like yourself.
He must have a cold.
You got your head in a bucket or what?
Well, I'm in the beautiful Polk County Library looking up statutes on grants and what's legal to buy with them.
I got you.
He scared me there for a second. He said library.
He did say library. I don't know if the people in the library know he's in there.
They're teaching me how to read.
Oh, my goodness. It's an uphill battle. Well, what's up, Mr. Drawers?
I just wanted to know. I'm sounding like I got a little knock. My piston skirt might be a little short.
Uh-oh.
What should I do?
Well, you got to be careful when you're bending over so the skirt doesn't show anything. But, if you got a little knock, it could be the piston skirt. There's really not much you can do. If it's just making a little bit of a knocking sound, it might actually be sort of normal noise for that car. There are a lot of vehicles that they have different materials. The skirts of some of the pistons are different, and you'll get a little bit of knock. They actually even tell you on bulletins on the internet that knock is natural and it's a quiet knock. It's not doing any damage. It'll go away when the vehicle warms up or the oil pressure gets up, and so I wouldn't be stressing it unless
something I did finger out was that they put different like the intake temperature sensors on these are different in some cars, so that it will make if you put the wrong one in it, it will make the mixture too rich on these little Geo Metros.
Is that right there? That's pretty sophisticated for that little bitty motor.
I know it. Yeah,
That's it.
you know, me riding it is pretty sophisticated, don't you
Well,
think?
that's it. With that hat on your head, you know, good grief.
You know, we had someone call in on the Swap Shop program the other day, and they were looking for a Geo Metro in good condition they wanted to buy.
I tell you, well, Chester might know somebody that has one in good condition.
Well, fellas,
That's terrible. I know it is. Go on eBay. You can probably find a carrying case for that motor, to tell you that right now.
it's always fun on Thursday.
Oh, man, I tell you what, we can't wait till you call in. So go back to the library and, you know, be careful what you look up on that internet over there.
I'll do it.
All right, we'll see you.
And you're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Hey, my name is Cindy. I need to tell Gene, last week when I was in there, he said that I got a beeper that comes on my blinker, and he said it was an old people's warning.
Old people's warning. That's right. Your blinker's on.
Yeah, well, it didn't do it this morning.
It didn't do it this morning?
No.
Oh, well, see, maybe it realized you weren't as old as we thought, huh?
Hey. Okay, I was just going to let you know it's not doing it all the time. You know, it just does it once in a while.
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, it could be that it has that feature on there, and maybe that feature is having a bad day every now and then. But there's a lot of cars that do that. If you just leave the blinker on continuously and the auto trip doesn't shut it off when you turn the wheel, then it just tells you, the computer is telling you your blinker is still on. Maybe it needs to talk, you know, like Chester, and say, hey, turn off the blinker.
Okay, well, I was just going to let you know it doesn't do it all the time.
All right, well, I understand that, you know, and it's just something to be, it's just a warning system of some kind. I don't know why it's not doing it all the time, but I guess that's probably good news.
Yeah, I mean, really, seriously, and it only does it about one spot in the town of Russellville, and that's about it.
Okay, well, you know what the doctor says, if it hurts there, don't move it that way, so probably not drive in that same place.
Don't have a choice, geez.
Oh, now, all right, Cindy, well, we thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And you're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Yeah, that half V8 International built some of them in their Scouts. You know, it looked like half of a 345.
Is that right?
Yeah,
All right, so
60s.
in the Pontiac, would it have been the International motor?
Yeah,
It would have, so International was probably building it for the Pontiac. What is your name?
Johnny.
Johnny. All right, Johnny, did you ever own one of them?
No, but I worked with a guy that had an International Scout, and he called it his half V8. I went out there and looked at it, and it looked just like a 345 V8, but half of it was gone.
I'll be darned. You know, I know that the Chrysler, the old Dodges and stuff, that sometimes they had what they call a slant 6, and it looked like a half of a V8.
Right.
So it's
it
probably
was
the same.
actually a slant 6, but
Yeah.
this 345, it looked just like like they forgot to put the half where the other head went.
Right. Well, and it may, you know, it may actually have been that almost exactly that type of design. Like I said before, where they're using the same parts in the half they're using, able to mass produce them, and they just forge the block just a little bit different. You know, they may have just actually cut it off in the forge process. Did it have a plate on it on the side of the block where the other side would have been, or?
Yeah, I believe it did.
Yeah, so you could bolt that on and off of there. So that might have been a pretty convenient little engine to work on, too.
Yeah, they had plenty of room, but I'd never seen the Pontiac, what they called half V8, but I remember the Scouts half V8s. I seen that one. That's one I've never seen, but according to him, they built several of them.
Well, I'll be darned. Well, Johnny, we appreciate you calling and bringing us up to speed on that.
You bet. Thank you.
You betcha, not a problem.
890-5013. You can call us at 967-1687, 800-887-5933, or look at us on rivervalleyleader.com and click onto the live stream link.
That's exactly right. You know, you're not going to see this much beauty in one room very often, so you need to get on there and look.
We need to get these young ladies over there to wave just for a second. Speaking of beauty, I mean, they probably need to see something really as beautiful.
The attractive young ladies,
yes.
Yeah, behind me.
Or at least they could just wave over to one side.
They're not really moving there quick. There's Chili right there. Okay, Chili's sort of our. This is Spree right here. There with River Valley Leader, and yeah. So folks listening on the radio, we are streaming live on the internet at River rivervalleyleader.com. And the folks on River Valley Leader that might not have ever heard the radio show, you can call in. Johnny's given the numbers. We have the old hubcap over here. Every week we put everybody's name in there, and we draw somebody's name at 10 till at 11:50 or 10:50, and give somebody $50. So you can call in, ask us a question about the car business, cars in general, where'd I got this red shirt from, whatever you want to talk about, and we'll put your name in the hubcap.
And it wouldn't be possible without our technical assistant, cameraman, General Bon Vivant, that takes care of all that. What's his name?
Bon Vivant.
That's Matty Lassiter.
That's Matt.
Matt Lassiter. Matt, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. The cable man. He had to go get cables and get us hooked up.
You're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Yeah, how's everything?
Well, we're doing all right. You know, we're trying to stay out of trouble.
Little damp.
Well, it is. It's not in here, thank goodness. It is damp outside. So who's calling?
This is Bob from Clarksville.
Bob from Clarksville. What's up, buddy?
Got a question. A Mitsubishi car. It's a Mirage.
Uh-huh.
A 1.5. Check engine lights on.
Oh, my goodness.
She took it to the garage.
Uh-huh.
They extracted a code, catalytic warm-up. They'd never heard of it.
I don't know that I've ever heard of it either, but that's all the code said, catalytic warm-up.
Uh-huh.
Now I wonder if is it needing to warm up, or is it overheating and they don't really call it, it's just warming up beyond the normal temperature. Catalytic converters are they're very sophisticated nowadays. I don't know what year model this Mitsubishi is, but
2002.
2002. So they're becoming much more sophisticated, and they're a very integral part of the engine running and the emission systems and all that stuff. And they get stopped up on you. They'll start stopping up on you, and it overheats. It heats them up. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard a warning about this car has a catalytic converter system on it, and do not park where there are leaves or tall grass, because you can actually start a fire with a catalytic converter. They get that hot. And so maybe that's the case. It's warming up beyond normal operating temperature.
Beyond range.
Yeah. And so I think you probably need to you can take it to a muffler shop, and they can check the catalytic converter for flow, make sure that it seems to be functioning properly, or tell you that it's broke down and it's not going to work any further, and it'll continue to stop up and affect how the vehicle runs. And so, that's something that you probably want to do before too long, because I have seen them glowing red hot. Mm-hmm. And that's just not a good place to have something glowing red is underneath your car.
I'll look at that.
All
I'll
right.
get out there and look after she's ran it. And they said they'd never seen that code and didn't know what to tell it. So
it's unusual to me too, but that doesn't mean there's 6,000 things that turn that check engine light on, and the computers are fairly sophisticated, and it's a Mitsubishi. If it has a J at the very first of the VIN, it was built in Japan, and there could be a translation error or a translation issue in that code reading. But I don't know for sure on that. I just know that if it says catalyst, you're talking about the converter system, and it's important, and you probably need to kind of check that out, make sure you don't have an issue coming up soon, because what'll happen is the car will run fine when it's cold, and she could be down the road, y'all could be down the road in that car, and it heats up and stops up, and you actually just stop going down the freeway. So it's probably better to mess with that while you're at home and have the opportunity.
At this point, it performs fine. We can't, you can't notice any. It doesn't. It runs like it always ran. But
that's a good thing, and that's something else that we talk about on here all the time. Is if a check engine light comes on and the car doesn't change at all, it doesn't. You don't notice any difference in how it's running. You don't feel anything different. The gas mileage stays the same. It's probably something pretty minor.
I'll bet that's a good clue. Well, I sure appreciate it.
Yeah, but I appreciate you calling in and letting us know.
And you're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Hello. Good morning, Gene, Johnny.
How are you doing?
All fair.
Fair's all right.
Riding out this storm.
Well, I think it's gotten kind of past us, but there'll be some more, unfortunately.
Well, I hope all is well in Russellville.
Well, we're doing fine. We're sitting off in the closet over here and staying dry. Who's this calling?
Well, this is Ida.
Ida, what can we do for you, Ida?
Sounds like you got a real good car sales deal. I may have to give up on my old Chevy and come see you sometime.
Well, you know what? We'd love for you to do that. You know, come down to Best Ride. You don't even have to come down there with any intent of buying. Just come down and talk to the sales guys. There is Scotty and Casey and Jeremy there. They've been selling cars for years. And just talk to them about what it is that you might want to do, what you're thinking about, and tell them what your situation is, and they can explain to you what we can do to help you, and then you can think about it and make a decision.
Okay, it sounds good.
All right, Ida, thanks so much for calling.
890-5013-967. 1687-800-887-5933. Gene, let's take a break, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
All right. Hey, everybody, it's Gene from Best Ride. Are you ready? It's 2012. Time to do taxes. Wish for spring and look forward to summer. Have you planned on a new vehicle? Credit might be an issue. Get yourself over to Best Ride, where we can help you find a rig that you'll love with 24,000 miles of warranty available and a 7.5% interest rate. We'll report to the credit bureau. We're going to help you with your sales tax. You know where to find us. Knoxville, down by the fairgrounds. Best Ride. All right, here we go. We're back on the air, and we are streaming live at River Valley Leader. I was going to say rivervalleyleader.com. You can go on there and check us out streaming live. I've been getting a few texts from some of the funnier people out there commenting. So there's people watching. That's a fun deal. We're really glad.
And you like to hear that.
I do like to hear that. That's exactly right. And keep sending the comments. I'll need them for laughter later. There's funny boys out there.
You're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Who's this calling?
This is Tea Party Terry.
Tea Party Terry. What's up, buddy? I got on my Republican red shirt today.
I see that.
All right.
I'm in a little trouble with the streaming. I don't know if it's just because my computer's made of wood or...
Well, hopefully, I haven't heard anybody else say anything, so maybe it is the old wood computer. Terry's saying his computer. Can y'all hear him in here? He's talking about his computer. Okay. Anyways, Terry, tell me what's going on. Ask me a question. We can get you in the hubcap.
Well, I saw a couple weeks ago, I guess it's been on the internet, that Ford had bid on some kind of military vehicle or something. Had you heard about that?
I don't remember yet hearing about it. They bid on to build a military vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
Well, it was just it's a website called guns.com, anything about guns, something like that, and they had... supposedly Ford had bid on making either a new sort of a Humvee or whatever it was, and it was just a little bit vertical. I can't remember. It didn't have too many details.
Right. Yeah. Well, that may be. I would imagine that the military, they're putting out all kinds of bid requests looking for specialty vehicles. Whether they build them all or not, who knows? They got billions and billions of dollars that they spend, so they may have all kinds of vehicles they get made to test to see if it'll work better for them.
Right. Johnny, is that a Gates board you're running over there?
This actually is a Howe board. I'm glad you asked about that. This is a Howe board. The Howe audio board company made these for about, I want to say, 7 years, and they have gone the way of the rumble seat. But let me tell you what, when I started in radio, we used a Gates President board, and I still miss that board.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, a great audio board. Gates made a fantastic audio set of boards, transmitters, and that's what we used, the Gates President board, and the board above that was the Executive, which was the stereo version.
Stereo. Y'all were living in high cotton back in those days, man. I tell you what. And how, the name How, because after some of the days we've had with that board, I wonder how we get through the days with it.
That's the reason they're not in business anymore.
I got you. All right, Terry, thanks for calling in, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
See you soon.
And you're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Yes, this is Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
2001 Pontiac Sunfire. Can you tell me where the thermostat is on that, if it's got one thermostat or two?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure. I know that it just has one. I've just about bet on. It's a 2-liter engine in there, and it should be coming at the end of the top hose that's on the motor. that should be where the thermostat is at. There's only really two places that it would be in almost every car. It's going to be at the end of one of the two hoses, the top hose or the lower hose of the radiator. It'll be in the housing that the hose is attached to. And so, it's just to check out that. A lot of times they'll have the lower hose will go to the water pump, and the upper hose will go to a little housing, and has a couple bolts in it, and the hose attaches to it, and the thermostat's inside there.
Okay.
But I'd have to look to be absolutely sure for that engine to see if. I think if you go to the end of the hose, and the hose is attached to a housing, and there's bolts where you could remove that housing. That's probably where the thermostat's at.
Okay.
All right, Sharon.
All right.
Thanks for calling in.
890-5013. Call us at 967-1687. 800-887-5933, or see us on rivervalleyleader.com and click on to the streaming link.
That's right.
Live
see
link.
us. We're right there. That's it.
Gene right there. Gene, you look good on TV.
Oh, my goodness. I tell you what, I'm probably scaring the kids.
You're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Ah!
What was that again?
Oh, no. See, did you just look? That's what it was. I hate that for you. I really do. It's terrible. Who's this calling?
Mr. Grace.
Oh, my goodness, Mr. Grace. You got a computer at your house, too?
I do, but it's not hooked up to the internet.
Well, that doesn't help you very much, does it?
No, it's fun to play games on.
All right, good deal. So what can we do for you today?
Where's the fuse block on my Ford Ranger?
At the end of that big old cluster of wires that comes off the motor and goes into the firewall.
Under the dash?
It could be under the dash right there by the parking brake handle. It could be on the side of the dash. Actually have to open the door to get to it. It could be in either place. That's it's a what year model? I can't remember. It's a 90-something, isn't it?
98, I think.
Yeah, so I don't know if you have a relay block out there on the outside under the hood. More than likely, it's up under the dash where the emergency brake would be on most cars where you release the emergency brake.
All right. Did they really make a four-cylinder in 1962?
Yes, they did. Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they'd invented them back then.
Oh, that was kind of I think they started out that way, real small motors, and then they got real big, and then, they just started keep playing around with them, trying to figure out how to get more power out of them and get speed out of them, and, and then you got to get the vibration. That was a big problem with an inline 4 or an inline 6 or an 8-cylinder was vibration.
How many cylinders did a Model A have?
You'd have to ask Johnny's over there saying 4. That's it.
4.
So, yeah.
Now, Pontiac was a GM model in 62. What was one of the other, probably the only other GM vehicle that had a 4-cylinder engine? This is an easy one.
It's an easy one.
It's an easy one.
It's a GM vehicle.
It's a GM vehicle. What was the other GM vehicle that had a 4-cylinder engine?
Well, shoot, I don't know. It'd have to be, I would think Chevrolet.
Chevy 2.
Yeah, the Chevy 2.
Chevy 2.
I remember those cars. Yeah. My mom and dad had I think a 62 or 63.
63, they started calling them Novas.
Yeah, that's
exactly there you go.
Right.
See, you old guys, y'all know more than me. It's a good thing I'm not as old as y'all are.
I knew a fellow who had a 62 Chevy 2, and it didn't have the Nova name on it, but it looked just like the 63.
Same thing.
Nova.
Yeah, that's it. All right, Mr. Grace. Well, we thank you so much for the old-time information.
Bye.
See you later.
890-5013-967-1687. 800-887-5933. You're on the Spotlight program and Nuts and Bolts.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. It's good morning to stay inside and listen to Nuts and Bolts.
It's a good morning to be inside no matter what you're doing. Who's this calling?
This is Cody.
Cody, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I just had a kind of off-the-wall question for you guys. I was seeing if you guys had ever seen a brake drum shattered on a vehicle.
Shattered on a vehicle?
Yeah.
I have seen them broken, cracked, or whatever, but I don't know about shattered.
Right.
What kind of vehicle was it?
It's actually a 100-foot ladder truck.
Oh, my goodness. So it was a real big one then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a big brake drum.
And it probably was getting really, really hot over and over and over again and made it brittle, I would bet, and that's why it shattered that way.
I guess it takes a lot to stop 80,000 pounds. So.
Oh, there is no doubt. It doesn't really stop. It just slows down for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Cody. Well, that's a that's something that people don't realize the amount of force involved in brakes and what it does to tires to roll that much weight around.
Right.
And it really gets super hot from the friction, and it's operating properly, and it still just gets super hot over and over and over again. And I guess that's probably, I would bet you that's not the only time that ever happened on that vehicle or the other ones like it.
Right.
All right, Cody, man, thanks for calling.
All right, you bet. Thank you.
You see you later.
And you're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Well, good morning.
Well, good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, but my gosh, it takes you a long time to get out anything, you know?
Well, I'm trying to be informative and helpful here, and I'm doing the best I can.
And detailed.
And detailed, that's it, and sounds sort of like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, like I said, you're doing a terrific job.
I'm trying. How you sound like you're feeling better since the last time I talked to you.
I finally decided I'm going to live now.
There you go. Well, that's an excellent choice to make.
There you go. I was just wondering one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you going to do when you run across a question that you can't answer? Or has that ever happened?
It happens kind of often, as a matter of fact. I try to make it sound like I'm doing the best I can, as long as I'm not giving life-saving information or something very, very specific. I'll just dance around the best I can and give the closest answer that I know the answer, the correct answer to it, closest thing I can think of.
So you're doing a great job.
Well, I'm trying. So, it's something we've been doing for years now. As you know, Nell's a regular caller for us, and it's something that I enjoy doing. It's one of the funnest things that I do in this business.
Uh-huh.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you just keep up the good work.
I'm going to try. But thanks for calling in. You're part of it. You help us out.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And you're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Hi, this is Shirley. I was wondering about rotating tires. Do you do it on a four-wheel drive? Do you do it side to side or like left front to right rear, or how do you do that?
Well, doing it, number one, is the most important thing. Crossing them over is probably more advantageous for the wear, to help them wear better. But the main thing is rotating them. But if you can switch them side to side, they're going to totally change how they wear on there, and you'll get much more life out of them. So, a four-wheel drive, as long as all four, of course, on a four-wheel drive, they really need to be the exact same size tires, and a matching set is much better, and then you can just rotate them around. It shouldn't be an issue, whether you do it front to rear or side to side. All right, Shirley?
All right.
Main thing is do it at least every year. Get them rotated at least once a year, and it'll help them last longer.
I want to tell you have some nice vehicles down there. I was there the other day. You've got some nice vehicles.
Well, I'll tell you what, Shirley, that doesn't happen necessarily by accident. We try real hard to find nice stuff, and we have some great detail guys. Mudflap can clean up just about anything and make it look nice, and so we clean them up good, and we want them to look nice. We want people to buy cars that they're excited about owning, and it helps if they're shiny and not beat up, and everything works like it's supposed to.
All righty.
Well, thank you, Shirley, for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Gene, we have the 3-minute warning, so I guess it's time to pass me the hubcap as we prepare for
the 3-minute warning. Now, I've been throwing names in there, so I'm all set.
You got you're already.
That's
well,
right. I
had
my
here too.
I use cut pieces of paper. You're over there tearing stuff out. I use cut pieces. We're in the 3-minute warning. Oh my goodness.
Warning here. We better get over here and go. You're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Who's calling?
Hello. You're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Hey, listen, would you guys tell us real quick how to get to your streaming? I'm on the home page.
Oh, it says River Valley. There's a box there onto the right side, and it says live streaming is what it says. And you just click on that.
Not on mine.
Not on yours, huh?
On the home page or the stations?
Oh, no, you go to the River Valley Leader. RiverValleyLeader.com.
Oh, thanks.
Hey. There we go. Thanks for listening, though.
Hey, we appreciate it doing that. You're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Hello, Johnny and Gene.
Hey, man, what's happening?
Oh, not much. This is John.
Yeah, John, what can we do for you, bud?
On a 2003 Sonoma.
Uh-huh.
We're losing water, but the radiator ain't dropping.
So you're losing water, but you're not losing it, and the radiator's maintaining its level. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
That is weird. That's really strange. If you're losing water, where do you see the water coming out at?
About About right where I see it, underneath the water pump on the driver's side.
Yeah. Well, and it's probably is the water pump, but maybe it's just a small amount of water, and it's just not showing that much effect on the radiator. I mean, it doesn't take very much leaking out to look like a lot of water, you know, and so it could just be a real small trickle, because if it's coming out of there, it's got to be lowering that level down, John.
Yeah, I've been keeping on it for Dad, but it ain't lowering at all.
Really? Well, that's unusual. I mean, is it making big puddle?
Probably about the size of a coffee can.
Coffee can. Okay. Well, I mean, it's like I said, it doesn't take a lot of liquid to make a puddle on flat ground, and so that's the only thing that I can presume at this point is between it. You could be actually losing the water in the overflow bottle and the radiator level staying up. I'm taking a kind of a guess on that. I would be getting me a water pump on there before it ends up giving you more trouble.
Okay.
All right, John, take it easy, man.
Yep.
And you're on Nuts and Bolts. Hello there.
Hey, Johnny.
How are you, sir?
Hey, you need, you're kind of showing your age. There's a little bald spot back there.
Oh, my, come on. Now, Bob, that is not nice.
I know it.
Because you got a bald spot on your head, too.
I know. That's why I've noticed that. But you guys look real good on River Valley. Is this going to be a continued thing?
Well, we'll probably be there every now and then. It won't. They're going to be streaming businesses and other people that want to use this type service to get their message out, and so we're just the first one. And I'm sure they'll come back and we'll be on there again. You know, if y'all guys all email them a whole bunch and just pound them that this is what y'all want to see, they might come back more often.
But, Johnny, you need to turn around and see your pretty face.
Turn around and show them your pretty face, Johnny. There you go.
How's that, man?
Oh,
how's that?
That's it. Okay, well.
I can hear the phones ringing in the background out in the hallway. They're like, get him to turn around,
turn
please.
back around. That's right, yeah.
Please.
Good grief.
Buddy.
Hey,
all
thanks,
right, man.
Bye-bye.
Final call here, and that's what I wanted to remind everyone. If you enjoy the streaming of the Nuts and Bolts program, send an email to info@rivervalleyleader.com.
info@rivervalleyleader.com. Absolutely.
That'll work. Final call here. You're on Nuts and Bolts.
Morning.
Morning. Who's this?
Gene?
This is Gene, yes.
Do you have any of them Chevy Volts down there yet?
Oh, no, I do not. If I needed a fire hazard, I'd just build me a log fire out there. I don't need a car to sit out there that'll catch on fire.
Oh.
You know, those things are, they're going to be in the Museum of Modern History pretty soon.
That's what I was thinking. I could make some money. The president was wanting one in 5 years, but they're not going to be around in 5 years.
No, in 5 years, it'll all be planter boxes out in front of buildings or something. What's your name? Let me put you down.
Wayne.
Wayne. All right, Wayne. You know, don't.
I want Gene and hold it to him for him till November. You know.
Because he'll need it then, because he won't have the limo to ride around in.
I was wanting one in 5 years, but you know, after November. Well, you know, I can hold it till November if you had to use them down there that I could pick up for $15-20.
Well, you know what? That's a pretty high price for one of them things, in my opinion.
Well, I'd chill you down.
Oh, you see, that's it right there. It doesn't you want a flat price, and then you're going to jim me down anyways.
Okay, James.
All right, Wayne, we got to get going. I appreciate you calling in, though.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh, see, we had the hubcap out here, and we always make a big joke about how bad it smells. The ladies in here, you know, it really doesn't smell that bad, but it's kind of nasty looking.
It is kind of. So, do you want to draw, or do you want to have?
No, let's let Michelle or Spree draw. It doesn't matter.
that?
If there's somebody pull a name out of there, we got to give some money up.
We
now,
have
what
some
does
hand
that say? You
sanitizer
can't
for
even
you.
tell. Oh yeah, look at there. See, there's actually junk on the paper here. It's Cindy. Cindy's the winner. Cindy with the old people blinker on her car. Cindy, you won the Nuts and Bolts today, so you come to Best Ride. We're on South Knoxville, right down there by the fairgrounds. We're across from the new Vietnamese restaurant that they're getting ready to open up. But just come down there and see Snarly. You know who that is, Cindy, because you're in there pretty regular. But everybody else, y'all come see us at Best Ride. Come check out the cars that we have there. Cy can take care of any kind of service that you might need. We take care of details for you, the mud flap and MJ doing details all day long. And the sales guys can talk to you about how you can get a car from us now or later, so you know what opportunity you have to work with. So come see us. We hope y'all enjoyed watching it on the streaming. Thank y'all ladies for that. we'll be back next week.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Absolutely, Johnny. Y'all take it easy. Appreciate it.
Low ride.